About time, Gerald.
So you can see all this stuff.
Did you just check?
But not everybody. Can we ask questions at the end? Because I imagine we should during.
Yep.
Now we're going to read.
You know, just so you.
That's a good idea, just announce, we'll take questions if we do. No, that's it, once halfway through.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of these.
Oh, the exercise.
I actually last year when I just started looking, it was low to high.
Put your arms down.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
No,
who's this treasure hat?
Excellent.
your slides set a high bar.
What's that?
Your slides set a high bar.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very glad. I love that
Like,
idea.
oh, yeah.
Even in the middle of my day.
Let me turn this on, let me turn this on. It won't hurt it to be pre-recording, I can cut it.
I know you were a sister in.
Yes, and can I have time to I'm kind of trial. If I actually
Twisted for 20 to 30 minutes, and now my lower back really hurts.
So we used to go up there, I used to go up there just as a silver
So
day
it's
or
nice
ICA.
back there? Okay.
And then,
So,
every YMCA ever mentions
Okay.
like a
All right, thank you.
go ahead.
This is like a.
Welcome, everybody. I'm looking at the True North family. There's a sign out front with the True North, and you need a little caption, Dr. Goldhammer, underneath True North Health that says the safest place on earth.
Yes, yes.
With so many doctors coming in and out, it's fabulous. I was asked to tell my personal story. This is not anybody else's science. It's just my experience. I taught elementary school and middle school for 32 years. Started gaining weight at 5 years old and continued. So teaching as an overweight person on cement just destroys your legs. And I got up to a really high weight. But going to work at 7 in the morning and coming home at 7 at night, I didn't feel like cooking and consequently never learned to cook. I needed you guys. I needed Chef Rollo's cooking classes. But hi, come on in now. Ellen, could you stand here just a minute? Okay, next slide. Ellen came to see me earlier. She's an intern here. And I had lost at that time 222 pounds, we'll say. And she said, that's 2 of me. Can you imagine? Seriously, I don't mean to embarrass you.
That's awesome.
But
Good technique.
the destruction that would occur carrying 2 of you around on my back, that did occur over time. I'm paying the consequences. I'm grateful that I learned techniques that I could take it off, but I'm still paying the consequences. For anybody that thought you were seeing a raw food demo, I'm just going to give you an overview here, so if you want to leave, you can. I'm going to talk about how I was successful in getting this off. Education was tremendously important to me. I recognize this as being truth, and I just couldn't get enough of it. Now I see my brother with that same enthusiasm. It's kind of fun to see. At True North a year and a half ago, I met friends that I still am in contact with every week, and it's just a wonderful support system of like-minded people. We get ideas from each other. Cleaning up your environment is critical, and eating whole plant food. It's the food, and the rest of it. Anyway, next slide.
Where to go?
Okay, we can go back to the mountain,
Okay.
please. My brother is my promoter, my film director, my editor. He's wonderful. I live in northern Utah now, but the accent's from Macon, Georgia. Mom and Daddy met in Savannah, and the relatives are still there, most of them. I love this place, but it's the capital of green jello and ice cream. Not so healthy. In Georgia, you can flip to the next one. Brown Mountain, next. Pink Mountain, next. Green Mountain, and that's the way I felt. I had felt, I am working on a book, Fat and Single in a Skinny Mommy Town. There are still, someone asked me, do you ever, I can't remember exactly how you said it, Siobhan. Basically, do you ever have humiliating moments or people treat you? It's pretty much a 24/7 humiliating moment when you are over 400 pounds because of many reasons. Everything's hard. Everything is hard. And of course, my pictures when we're celebrating Carnival Cruise. I got there at 4:05 and who knows what I left with, and then I didn't weigh anymore. So I don't know if that's correct. 222 pounds is probably more. Now, these are 3 of my 5 brothers. We are parents, all siblings are all overweight. Lap band surgery, gastric bypass. Is it genetic or is it lifestyle? Well, I probably have a propensity toward gaining weight, but it's cultural expectations, cultural traditions of gobs of bacon fat, cooking your vegetables to mush. My mom didn't like to cook, so asparagus out of a can, can you imagine? Anyway, nasty. Next. Thank you, and then.
Yeah.
It can be done. It can be done. It is being done. Flip back to, okay, pills and surgery. Everything hurts when you're overweight. Everything's in the way when you're overweight. I've broken chairs sitting in them. And I was telling you that on the airplane, once the stewardess came up and said loudly in front of everyone, "Ma'am, you're gonna have to buy an extra seat." And I thought, I was so humiliated I didn't come back at her. But you're desperate at that point. I was desperate, and I was willing to try anything, even being cut open. I didn't have anything, thank heavens, there was nothing wrong with my stomach. No, that's not true. Acid reflux, had that one too. I was on 12 different medications. Let's see. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, gout, low back pain, cancer, various varicose veins, attention deficit, we inherited that, depression, bursitis, restless leg, sleep apnea, sinusitis, can't read my writing, diarrhea for 9 straight months, acid reflux, and pills and surgery are what we are encouraged to do rather than lifestyle change. Next. Now, when I went in for gastric lap band surgery, they strap off a little bit of your stomach so you have about that much left and a teeny tiny hole that goes through. So because I couldn't eat real food, I lost 30 pounds really fast because only water would go through, and then anything else I tried, I would throw up. This went on for like 3 years. So you learn how to drink liquid calories and blend everything, and you know, cheesy broccoli soup turns into nothing. So my nutrition was horrendous, which wasn't even the biggest problem. Okay, this was $20,000 to put in because insurance wouldn't pay for it, but I was desperate enough to go in debt. And then 3 years later, it broke into pieces inside me, perforated. My Chip's got tears in his eyes because he was motivated to do it 3 years after I did it, and he was in the hospital 6 months. I was only in the hospital for about a month. But it just perforated stuff, and I got blood poisoning, and it was horrible. I really, really want to do this presentation for my primary care physician and my surgeon because they recommend weight loss surgery. Anyway, terrible. Next. But Don't you give up, don't you quit, you keep walking, you keep trying, there is help and happiness ahead, it will be all right in the end. I had to have faith that that was true. Trust God and believe in good things to come. Jeffrey Holland. As miserable as I was, there was a morsel of hope in there. I watched, I watch all the fat shows. So I watched Extreme Weight Loss, and there was a kid on there from my town, Bruce Pitcher, and he lost 200 pounds, and I thought, if somebody I know can do that, maybe I can do it. So, again, here's $8,000 more. I signed up with the University of Colorado Medical School, is where they did the show. I tried out for the show, didn't make it. But anyway, I signed up with their little year-long program, lost 100 pounds, was thrilled to death, keep going. I did learn some wonderful things. I learned to do food preparation and keep track of what I was eating, because I really wasn't aware of what I was eating. And if you guys want to see any of these little charts, you can come up here afterwards and see them. But I was so enthusiastic, being the school teacher that I am, I called a few friends and said, "Do you want to come over and learn how to cook this way? Because I lost 100 pounds. Well, they said, yeah. So they gathered other friends, and I'm teaching this, and we're having a wonderful time, and then gradually I'm gaining the weight back, because it was high protein, low carb, measure every ounce you put in your mouth, you can't go, anyway. And the cheat meals got more often, just like everybody. So anyway, I'm feeling like the biggest hypocrite in the world teaching these classes so that I quit. Keep going. They encouraged vigorous, strenuous exercise, like TV shows, kill yourself for 8 hours a day, whatever. The only thing I could physically do to start with was water aerobics. And then I finally graduated to walking, and then I got gout. And I had set a goal to do 5 5Ks that year that I was working with them, and consequently I have no more arches in my feet. If you kill yourself doing something you're not prepared to do, you pay consequences. But I was thrilled to death. I took a wheelchair with me. My friend said she would push it if I couldn't make it. I made it to the end. I was so proud, and I did do my 5 5Ks. Keep going. But food needed to be my medicine. And I needed to eat a rainbow every day, and they did encourage that, but I never felt right eating that much protein. It never made sense to me that high protein wasn't going to clog my arteries. Anyway, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. So at this point, I'm back to 405 or higher, and feeling like the biggest loser in the world and not on a TV show. I'm successful in the rest of my life. I have a master's degree. I'm a watercolorist. I write and edit. I mean, I am not a dummy, but I seem to fail and fail and fail at the weight maintenance. Anybody else in here? Okay. And I thought I had pretty well given up hope on that. After my lap band exploded, I couldn't teach anymore. I was in a wheelchair. I lost my career, I lost my savings because it was $100,000 to take it out. And insurance didn't pay that, and I'm still paying on part of that. I lost hope, and I stopped dreaming. And this went on for a couple of years until my nephew and his cute wife came down to stay with me for a few days, and they were doing this weird hippie diet. I thought, he ate a cauliflower sandwich. I thought that was the weirdest thing I ever heard in my life. And I was so worried, where are they going to get their protein? And I was honestly fearful for them. Come on in. But they did ask me, Aunt Kathy, would you just watch this movie, Forks Over Knives? And I said, yeah, I'll watch the movie. Because I spent a lot of time in the recliner, snacking, and not doing anything. This woke me up. I don't know about you, but it was like a jolt of lightning coming through me. this is the science that backs up everything that I was taught growing up. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we have a health code that says everything, you know, eat your fruits and your vegetables and all of that, and exercise and whole grains. And I thought, this is the science behind what I was taught, but did I do it? No. Anyway, once I got hold of that, I thought, I got to learn more. So every video I could find, read the China study, took the, anyway, lots and lots of videos. One of my favorites is Dr. Michael Greger, and Chip had never heard of him. And I thought everybody knew Dr. Michael Greger because he's one of my idols. He runs nutritionfacts.org, and I encourage you to spend a lot of time on there. He has like 5-minute videos on every healthy thing or health promoting thing that you could look for. And we're going to listen to How Not to Die in the car driving back 12 hours. Okay, yes. All right. This is funny. Thank you. But this is one thing that did it for me. Cheese was my huge addiction. Cheese and butter on everything if I could get it. And I thought, if I don't find a replacement for that, I'm in big trouble. And there are thousands of cheese recipes out there. This one just happened to be one that tweaked my flavor, and I make this every week and have for 2 years, well, a year and a half. No, pretty close to 2 years. It's just the same basic recipe, but it has liquid smoke in it, and some miso, which I can't do for 12 weeks on the research. But I'll be perfect. Okay. I found there are thousands of cooking videos out there, websites, and all of that kind of stuff. I had to find some that were incredibly easy because I didn't know how to cook. So this one, Jill Dalton on, please, on Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show. I think she's shortened it a little now, but just gobs of recipes, and she shows you, she's just so user-friendly. And next, Dylan Holmes on Well Your World is so funny, and he was like, this is how you boil water. That's what I needed to start with. Actually, do any of you have Chef Bravo's cooking courses that he puts out?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a must. You got to do it. He tells you this is how you hold your knife. This is how you cut. I mean, he goes from there up to really good recipes, but that was exactly what I needed, and they're stinking cheap. He's got 2 of them right now, working on another, but he's so user-friendly. And Brian Kroc is on Crocs in the Kitchen, a couple that lost over 300 pounds together, and they're charming and do really easy recipes too. I drank the Kool-Aid, and I decided I was going to get the Center for Nutrition Studies eCornell Nutrition Certificate. So glad I did, because all of the little things I was getting from all the different videos pulled together to make sense to me and to expand. I kind of felt like my brain was exploding, but powerful information. I did read the China study too. Actually, I listened to it on YouTube. But anyway, next. And then I read The Pleasure Trap, which, I'd heard of True North now and then, but I thought, fasting. But it changed my life because I thought I was mentally defective or something, because I could not get over that weight maintenance thing. And to realize that there's nothing wrong with me, it's wrong with the food that I'm putting in. When we were little kids, my little brothers decided that they were going to fill the neighbor's tank with rocks and gravels in their car. Well, needless to say, my dad had to pay for it. He was not happy. You don't put crummy fuel in a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce. And this machine is so much more magnificent than that. And I think of the unkindness I was showing myself by putting junk in this machine when it deserves better. And I'm just grateful to find out about it. And for those of you who didn't hear earlier, below True North Health, there needs to be a sign that says the safest place on earth. I had a therapist all along the way say, Kathy, when you finally feel safe, that weight's gonna fall off of you.
That's it. That's it. You're okay. It's us, right?
You're making us.
Have a glass of water.
It's good. It goes away soon. But when I came here, I was scared, like you probably are too, because I didn't know what was going on. But, I mean, we have at least 2 doctors in the morning, and you run into them all day, and 2 doctors at night, and I think they were scared for me because I had like 6 some days. Oh my God! Anyway, but I never felt so safe in my life, and the weight was just falling off, and I thought, True North for me was a place of refuge and a place of safety, but it was a kickstart. So I decided I'm just going to do this every 6 months until, well, that was not my mindset. I thought I'm going to do this next December, or whatever it was. I came September, October of 2019, so April, May of next year. I'm going to show up then, because at that point, I couldn't think that far ahead. Does that make sense? Anyway, keep going. Okay. I don't know if y'all saw him, but Dr. Goldhammer was in here today moving chairs and tables. He cares so much about this place, and during the fires last October 2019 when I was here, he was doing the juices for everybody because he sent the staff home because the fires were like 3 blocks away. It felt like it. I don't know. Anyway, they were evacuating the town, and he's just doing that. And when I came out, he was folding my laundry. I thought, no. I can do it, Dr. Goldhammer. But okay, I'll tell you a quick story. Gar comes in, and lovable Gar, and Dr. Goldhammer takes him and swings him around in the office, and I thought, that is so sweet. You know, he's not a robot. He's a loving, affectionate dad. Anyway, I really feel like we get a world-class education here. I mean, I have a master's degree, love the work that I did, but the information on nutrition that we get here, and it's not just nutrition, it's just how the nutrition works in your body, and movement and physiology, anatomy. I mean, I had to come more than once, I couldn't get it the first time. You know? And mindset and culinary arts, we are just so fortunate to be here. I knew that if my body were changing, I would need to do some mindset work myself. So I signed up with Heidi Crockett because honestly, the body and mind haven't caught up any step of the way so far. So I just needed some tips. And one of the tips Heidi gave me was to create a circle of support. Whenever I felt threatened, to just see these people in my mind. And besides the Savior and my extended family and friends that I met here at True North, I can picture them in my mind. And now that circle has expanded to Australia, England, Greece, all over the United States and Canada, friends that I've met here that are part of that. So this is just representative. I just have to tell you about this gal. The first day, I think it was the very first day, she walked by me, October of 2019, and said, I know you. And we got to talking. This is Terry Lynn Snell. Yeah, you know her. And anyway, I think it was even the first time we talked, she said, you know, you're going to need that weight loss surgery, and I'm going to come and stay at your house for 8 weeks and be your nurse. And she did it.
Wow.
I didn't need 8 weeks, but she was willing to stay. That's the caliber of people who come here. I mean, it gives me chills. So the two of us are planning, we have plane reservations to go to Cancun in August, and we're in orphanages. They have 9 orphanages there. She's an occupational therapist, and I'm an art music therapist, so, I mean, I do it. I'm not official. Knowing that the choices I make are avoiding pain, seeking pleasure, and conserving energy just makes so much sense to me. And it goes into so many different areas of our life, not just food. And I love that science. Keep going. True North fasting for me has been incredibly healing. My friends kept saying, Kathy, you're gonna die, don't go to that place. And I kept telling them, but I'm healing from the inside out, and I have done so much destruction that I need that autophagy, that cleaning out. They didn't get it. It's okay. They
Do
didn't
they
watch the
still?
video.
Do they yet?
Now I have people that are starting to call me and say, did you see this recipe, Kathy? I think I'm interested in it. You think I could do that plant thing? Yeah, I think you could. For me, these have been reward trips during COVID. Most people I know had COVID-19, COVID, however many. For me, it was COVID weight loss because I knew I was coming here. Great motivation for mindset, for socialization, and for motivation and continuing education. Dr. Strucker, in my, when they do the Monday, weekly, whatever it is, doctor visits, I leaned over and said, Kathy, have you ever gained weight on whole food plant-based? And I all but just, that question just blew my mind. Of course I did. Look at this, I'm up and down and up and down and up and down, and then this one is a True North fasting. And then a few weeks later, it's back up and down and down, and then the next one goes down. If you saw any one weight loss chart, you would think I was a loser. But they started up there at 405 is when I started, and they are down to I was down to 189, and then I refed. Now I'm 190. Miracles happen in modern day, and there have been angels all along the way, like Bree and Ellen and Christy and all these people, and Siobhan, all of you that have been so kind. Keep going. Now, I thought, and I'm going to just kind of tell one on Chip. He keeps saying, by this date, I'm going to be this many pounds. And I'm thinking, you just keep on thinking that, bud. But this is really what's going to happen. You just get used to it. And I've gotten used to it. There is so much peace in knowing that I can eat 6 plates of food if I want to. I just have to eat my veggies first, and then my whatever starch it is, and it tastes delicious. I mean, that is such a mind change for me, because we've been measure. You can't have this. He's asking me, Kathy, can I eat a banana? Which one of these is a vegetable? Love you, Chip. Okay, keep going. But this is from Dr. McDougall's, one of his many books. He suggests having non-starchy veggies on half your plate and half your plate starchy vegetables. He didn't know what the starchy vegetables were either, but he's learning. Okay? And it works. I'm a visual person, so that really works for me. Ding. Okay, does that look divine?
Yeah.
Okay, we could have 6 or 8 or 10 plates that if I can't fit it in. And now Chip and I both were saying, I can tell if I'm full or not. I could not before, and I don't know the science behind that, but I never had a stop button. I do now, and it's kind of like, well, I don't need it anymore. I'll put it in the fridge and have it later. Okay. Preparation. If I don't have food in the fridge and I don't know what I'm going to eat, I get kind of anxious, and I know that's some kind of mental disability. So I plan what I'm going to have for breakfast. I plan what I'm going to have for lunch, and I plan what I'm going to have for dinner. And pretty much it's oatmeal, flaxseed, berries. Before that, I have my honkin' bowl of spinach with a little bit of vinegar on it. And if I nuke it, it shrinks down to like half your hand, but it's 3 bowls to start with. I have that every morning with berries. Love berries, love berries. Back, please. I'm still yakking. Okay. And I like to put cayenne pepper in. Oh, one thing that has helped me, I portion out my little half a cup of oats and all the doodahs that I like to put in it. I stick it in a baggie for all of you people who think that's horrible. Sorry, it's gotten me here. But knowing that that's easy and I grab it and go, I can make it in 2 minutes. It works for me. Lunch, at the beginning of the week, I make a big old pot of soup, either chili or marinara or, you know, some kind of, and I don't really make soups. I make stews and jam as many veggies in there as I possibly can. That's new too. Hide your vegetables. Put them in things you already like with delicious stuff, and then it's more palatable. And then for dinner, I'll have a great big salad with some kind of beans. I know I'm supposed to eat more legumes. I'm working on it. Okay. This really helped me. I got this at one of the lectures last year. I think it's, I don't know who did it. But anyway.
It was on Lyle, one of Lyle's.
Was it Doug Lyles?
It was
Okay.
on one of his videos.
He talks about the continuum of evil. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Okay. Being a school teacher, I relate to the grading system and averaging and all of that kind of stuff. So fried animal products, you guys know this stuff. But I just figured if I balance things out, if I eat something crummy here or something crummy there, it's okay. I've gotten out of that. I eat so simply now, I don't have to use that anymore. I just pretty well stay in here, and because whole food is just tastier. Next. Oh, just so you know, I Googled most of these slides. I just Googled continuum of evil, or actually what I Googled was,
Did it lose connection to the thing? This happened to me once. Yeah, just reopen it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
ease of doing it. Okay, I got my notes. All righty. What did I forget?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You did that so I could find it easy.
Okay.
Like when I hide things, so I'll never lose them, and then I always do.
Come on up.
No,
I'll just
I-
talk while y'all are fiddling.
I got it. I got it. Yep, there it is, and we're on which one? Bill and
The
Campbell.
continuum.
Okay. Continuum. Half and half. Okay.
There you go. Okay. Flip to the next one. Good man. Okay. I was just hungry for healing. All right. In January of 2018, I'm diagnosed with cancer. Your life flashes before your eyes. I have 5 brothers. I invited them and their families out. We got hotel rooms 2 blocks from my, for them 2 blocks from my house, and we had a big old family reunion because I thought, why celebrate after I'm gone? So, come to find out, if you have to have cancer, I had the best kind. It was endometrial cancer. They did the radical hysterectomy, took all the cancer with it, and I didn't even have to have chemo or radiation or anything, and that was just another miracle. So, but it did make me think about what I want in this life, and do I want to live this way? I had a doctor who, before I started the plant-based fiddling around, because to start with, up until 2018, I was just kind of playing with it. Then going to get my chicken nuggets and my potato salad when I felt bad, and then go back to it and all of that stuff. But for 9 straight months, I had diarrhea, and I went to a GI doctor, and so potions and pills and tests galore and horrible exams, and He never once asked me what I was eating, and that just kind of blew my mind. I thought, yeah, this is kind of has something to do with this. Not once. But what he did do was he just scooted his chair right up to me next to me and Nate, and he said, Kathy, you are charming and beautiful, and you deserve a better quality of life than this, because he could see how miserable I was. And he said, I don't do this, but I want you to come in every Tuesday, weigh in with my nurse. I'm going to give you a high five and a hug. We're going to keep track of your progress. We're going to put you on this, not keto, paleo diet. And, but I thought, somebody cares. Somebody's tracking me. I'm a pleaser. So I thought, okay, this is working for me, and it got me kick-started again. I keep track of what I'm eating still. I don't trust myself. In pencil, I write what I plan to eat, and then during the day, if I change it, I change it. That's okay. But then I know what I'm going to eat. And this day I didn't do any activity because everything hurt that day. But I have a little gratitude journal at the bottom. It's only 3 lines. Doesn't take any time, but I start the day with gratitude. And then I do a little scripture study, a little journaling, and plan my day, and then I get going. And if I'm feeling, since I'm ADD, if I'm feeling real agitated, I'll put on Baroque music, and especially Handel's water music. It just helps to organize my brain waves and keep me going. Can I just tell you that my teachers in school would have been just shocked and awed that I went into education. I was such a problem. Okay.
Can I, so
Yes.
did you get rid of your diarrhea?
Eventually, but it would have happened so much faster. I have come to find out that I have many problems with dairy, like many other people, but he never asked me about that.
Was that after your lab?
Yes,
event?
after the
This
lab
diarrhea.
explosion. I call it the year of the explosion.
Which year was your surgery, and which year was your explosion?
2011. It went in 2007, exploded in 11, forced retirement in 2012, and then all of this other stuff in between. But now, I just tell myself, I'm going to eat a rainbow of vegetables every day, fruits and vegetables, and I'm visually motivated, so it's just a delight to the eye. And now, not that my taste buds are neuro-adapted to actually tasting the food. It's delicious. My brother Chip, the first day we're here, I'm just eating away on my salad, and he looked at me and said, "Do you actually enjoy it?" And I said, "I love it." And then, was it yesterday or the day before? He was over there moaning in delight over these yellow berries and the cherry tomatoes and the jicama. These carrots never tasted so sweet in my life.
Have you asked him about the watermelon?
Oh, I didn't hear about the watermelon.
It's the explosion years
Watermelon.
Handel's Messiah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, can I just tell you a quick recipe that one of my True North friends that's in my support system called from Davis, California, and she said, we arranged to have a picnic. Once I started eating again, it was not legal for me to leave the asylum. So I went to the little pavilion over there, and she had just watermelon chunks with lime zest and lime juice, cucumbers, and a little bit of mint. It was shockingly delicious. And I'll take that to every party. Please let us have parties someday. Okay. Now, going home, we have so much enthusiasm. I had to listen to Dr. Lyle's advice to just keep your mouth shut. Just live it, let them see the results. If they ask questions, you answer them. But we cannot force someone to hear a message they are not ready to receive. But we must never underestimate the power of planting a seed. And I have to keep telling myself that. When they do ask me questions, and I get it often, they want to know what I'm doing, they just don't want to do it. I say, well, and I even posted this on my Facebook page, I finally lost 200 pounds and I'm loving my fruits, veggies, whole grains, and legumes. And then people still say, how did you do it? That's it.
New friends.
Sometimes I do water aerobics if the pool's open with COVID, and the rest of the time I just walk. I have not, anyway. All I wanted was my health back, my energy back, my sleep back, my life back. But I think I accidentally joined True North Health Center that changed my life, and I'm okay with that. For whatever we're doing in life, we need education. Once you recognize the truth, you want to seek, I don't want to say reputable, but there's a lot of junk out there on the internet, and you need to vet your resources because there are a lot of quacks out there. But I trusted the science and the scientists that recommended True North, and the education we've gotten here has blown our minds, and it keeps getting better. We need support in whatever we're doing. And cleaning up our environment, oh, okay. I'm part of a research study, 2 research studies here. One on visceral fat and one on high blood pressure. And so we did the 10-day fast, and then we come back in 6 weeks to show what a whole plant food, SOS-free diet will do for you. Shut your ears. Maybe 2 days in a row this my whole last 2 years I did SOS-free. I mean, the oil is easy, the sugar is easy, but that salt, I am just a crunchy salt. Anyway, maybe I need more sessions with Heidi about this. Anyway, I have to go through my fridge and get rid of all the condiments because I think I have some Well Your World salt-free stuff in there, and those are legal, and some of that stone ground salt-free mustard, but everything else has just got to go. And do I want to give it to somebody else and poison them? Not really. So it hurts to throw things away, but I got to do it. And I've got way too many kitchen gadgets. I don't know about you, but I use my knives and my cutting board and my Instant Pot and my blender and my food processor. That's pretty much it. You don't need gobs of stuff to be successful on this. I should have a yard sale. Something I was going to say, can't remember. Part of our environment is getting rid of what Dr. Lotto calls the energy vampires, and you called it that too in some of your lectures. I have friends who are energy vampires. You just suck the life out of you. And I had a roommate that somebody described as, that woman can suck the air out of a room. You just need to step back from those people and associate with people who are more positive. They don't have to be doing what you're doing, but they at least should not be nagging you to do something different. And I just take my own food when I'm going out because I can't trust a restaurant to actually not put salt in, even though they say they're not going to. And I did that with Chip's family. They decided to go to celebrate something with his daughter and granddaughters, and I brought my own food and they were good with it. Because if they weren't, I'd sit out in the car in the freezing cold and eat my own food because I have not gotten off of this. But I'm telling you, the smells of that messed my brain up for weeks. So I am not ready for that kind of interaction yet. Maybe someday. I'm not putting that off. But for 6 weeks, we're not doing any restaurants. I can't control him. He lives in Arizona, and my brother lives in Arizona, and I live in Utah, so I can't control anything he's doing, but I will encourage, we will encourage each other. But if I had one gift, one quality, it's, the thing that's gotten me the farthest is to get back up when I fall, because I've fallen and fallen and fallen and fallen, and will again, but I'm not worried about it anymore. That's a whole new mindset, and it's a blessing. Is there anything else on that? That's it. Any questions? I would just recommend make it easy. Just turn it on. Yes.
Did you get your cheese sauce recipe?
Sure. How about if I just run it off and post it here, and then you guys can take pictures of it?
No, would be fabulous.
Okay. I actually have a copy in my room.